The reason why I say that I avoid crashes is because I know some, not all. I'm not an expert in the matter. So that's the reason why I'm going to other units, like being proactive, like, going to the gang unit. No, I am not an expert when it comes to crashes.
When's the last time you filled out a crash report?
You can go check my records. Probably years ago. Probably.
So you don't really know the traffic laws?
I do know.
Objection, you can answer.
Yeah. Like I said, I know some of the traffic laws. Okay. And then some of them I have to go back.
All right. You think this officer knows the traffic laws better than you?
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's why he's there.
And we heard a lot about, he didn't have a turn signal on. This officer here, did I read this correctly? He says that the absence of a turn signal is not applicable to this wreck.
That's what he's saying.
You agree?
If that's what he's saying, he's the expert on it.
You disagree with anything in this narrative or the crash report?
Once again, no. And again, I wasn't a crash. They gave me a statement. I told my statement from exactly how I felt, what I saw, and my perspective of the whole thing. He went there. He did the investigation. Asked their part, my part. And then we're here. That's it.
If you were the responding officer to this wreck, let's place someone in your place. If it was two civilian vehicles, if you were the officer responding to this wreck site, who would you have faulted for the wreck?
And once again, and just so you know, this is the way we're taught. So since it's a Dallas PD vehicle, there has to be someone investigating for a Dallas PD vehicle or squad car. When it comes to civilian on civilian, we do not state who's at fault. We literally, this is a totally different narrative from the one I would write. Very similar, but he's giving you from his investigative point, his job, right? What we do is I get unit 1 and I get unit 2. I give the story. That report is given to the insurance. The insurance does they do their own investigation, and then they decide who's at fault. And that's exactly what we have to tell the people that are involved in a collision or in a crash, an accident.
Who would you assign contributing factors to that?
So the contributing factors, like I said, it all depends. If they tell me the speed they were going to, I would give the speed. If I would say there's no stop sign, I would put there's no stop sign.
I asked about this wreck, and who of the two drivers put somebody else in the position you were in that night? Mm-hmm. Who would you have assigned the contributing factors to?
Objection.
Well, once again, I wasn't the investigating officer. I was one of the people involved.
All right, that's enough of an answer for me. That's the witness.
I just have a few questions for you, Officer Perez.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been with DPD?
About 5.5 years.
And you mentioned that at the time of this accident, you were in a specialized unit. Is that correct?
That is correct, ma'am.
What unit was that?
CRT deployment. It's a proactive team.
What does CRT stand for?
Crime response team.
Are you currently in a specialized unit?
I am, ma'am.
What unit is that?
It's the gang unit, ma'am.
And I see you're wearing a hoodie today for your deposition. Why is that?
I'm in a covert capacity right now. Basically, I was attached to a task force, and my current responsibility is to conduct an investigation on the Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua, TDA.
Okay. And I might ask you to spell that. Could you spell that for me?
Tren de Aragua?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the first word, Tren, T-R-E-N. Second word, D-E. Aragua, last word, A-R-A-G-U-A.
Thank you. Now, you mentioned that immediately after the accident, you felt buzzed. Can you explain what that means?
Correct. So, as you saw, I was involved in an accident. The airbags were deployed. I hit my airbag. Okay. First of all, everything's hurting. My ribs are hurting. My head hit the airbag, and I know I'm involved in an accident. I have to go check on the people involved, which were the person that I hit or the people that I hit, and my head is my brain is just pumping. I don't know if I'm explaining correctly. If you understand me, but that's what I'm saying. I was buzzed.
Was it fair to say was an adrenaline rush?
Adrenaline rush with a sort of concussion, you could say. Yes.
Now, you said you were, one of your jobs was to speak to the individuals involved in the accident. The driver of the vehicle was a male, correct?
Correct.
His passenger was a female, correct?
Correct. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was mom or aunt. Mom.
Other than basic questions, did you have any interaction with her?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. The only interaction I had was I asked her if she was good and if she needed an ambulance. That was it.
Now, after a DPD officer is involved in a car accident, there is certain protocol you have to follow, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, what is that protocol?
After an accident, well, first of all, you have to go tell dispatch you were involved in an accident. If there's a need of medical attention or an ambulance, get an ambulance. And for the people that get there, they have to block they have to secure the scene. And again, investigators get there, they get statements from the perspective of whoever.
In addition to notifying dispatch, do you have to notify a supervisor?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So it was your testimony that immediately before the accident, you were using the Zello app. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Immediately before the accident, were you texting?
No, I was not.
Immediately before the accident, were you looking at GPS?
GPS, no.
Immediately before the accident, were you looking at your phone?
No.
Okay.
I was trying to get my phone.
Okay. After the accident, how did you contact a supervisor?
Put it over the air. So whenever you're involved in an accident, you put it over the air, and everybody responds code 3. Code 3 response, lights and sirens. Everybody gets there, and of course, it's an automatic that a supervisor is going to get there, regardless of whether you ask for one. All you have to say is that you were involved in an accident, and as you saw, I got 2 sergeants on scene on video.
Did you use your cell phone to call anyone?
I got calls, like I said, I got calls, people asking me if I was okay. They heard that I was in an accident on the radio. And it's most likely that I called my sergeant to notify. My immediate sergeant, I would say. Like I said now, I don't remember.
We saw a text conversation in the last set of emojis. Council represented were laughing emojis. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Was that a conversation that, if you recall, went on before the accident, before or after?
No, that was before.
And what before? Do you mean immediately before, or
no? Just during my shift.
Okay.
My shift. I'm like, again, yes, I'm a police officer, but I'm like any other person. If I'm going, I go to a call, or let's say I get someone to jail, or if anything, if I'm waiting in the car, I'll get on my phone. I'll talk to I'll either talk to my brother, mom, a friend, a girlfriend, or like it doesn't matter. I'm a person just like everybody else.
And what I want to nail down is, did you find anything at all funny about this accident?
Absolutely not. Is that where? My bad. Is that where you were trying to go with that?
That wasn't my angle, but I saw it when
Holy
she was asking.
shit! Wow.
It's that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm getting it. Okay.
Officer Cheng, I don't have any additional questions for Perez. I don't have any additional questions for you. Thank you.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No. And
Was not my angle anyway. So
no, but no, man, you're good at your job, bro. You do what you do, man. And again, it is your job, nothing personal. But
yeah.
Okay. All right, y'all. Is
I'll reserve. Thanks.
gonna reserve and 10 days is still okay for you?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
We don't need a written sign.
The time is 1:03 p.m. We are now off the record.
yeah. Good job, bro.